What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Super Beamer Brothers. Thank you very much for joining me once again. And as always, thank you very much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. And without you guys, we can't do these videos. So let's get right into it. I wanted to make a video a couple days ago, and I did. I just didn't like the way it came out, so I wanted to do it all over. Today, I'm bringing you 5 reasons why the E28 is a perfect daily. And they may be really general reasons, but I think they're the perfect reasons to go out and buy one of these if you can. If not, anything similar will suffice as long as it's awesome and from the 80s. Let me get started on my commute to work this morning. I don't want to be late. I figured I can knock out telling you guys all about this on my way to work. So the number one reason why I think an E28 is specifically the 528E is the perfect daily is because it's efficient. This variant of the 528, I don't know, I think it was the first run of a couple years, right? They only had the E here in the United States from the early 80s on through the later 80s, or actually mid 80s. I'll put the date range right here on the screen for you guys, because I'm not exactly sure. By no means am I an encyclopedia, but from what I understand, it was the first variant to hit the United States, and it is the 528E. This chassis has the M20B27, and honestly, despite the flack that it gets online and within enthusiasts, I've met a couple that do like it, and I myself like it as well. It's actually a really robust, slow engine, and it's nothing to hate. It's just that's the way it was designed, and I think it's pretty peppy for its slow characteristics. I mean, you're not struggling to get up to speed all the time. Trust me, I drive this thing every day. I can personally tell you that it's plenty fast enough for your daily driving, and I think it's great. And that's why I wanted this first point to be efficiency. It boasts the M20B27, and I regularly get 25 to 30 miles to the gallon. If you're feather-footed like I am, I can make almost any car go 25 to 30 miles to the gallon. Obviously, I think that's key for anyone trying to make sure they have a cheap commute anywhere they go. Especially with the gas prices these days, it's outrageous. Reliability is probably the next most important point regarding this car, because for me, with this car, in the past 7 months that I've been daily driving it, it has not left me stranded, not once. And keep in mind, I'm running it on the fuel pump that came with the car, so who knows how long that fuel pump's been running for in this in its lifetime, right? Because I mean, we all know that they've been swapped out once or twice before. Some of them out there have supposed original fuel pumps, but I really doubt it. But maybe the intake, the pickup pump. But anywho, the reliability of this car has been off the charts. I have been so happy that this thing has just had me feeling like it's reliable too. I guess it does help that I did the timing belt, water pump, and all those neat little leaky gaskets that are all over the engine on the M20. I did all of those. And if you guys want to see how I did them, or that whole video, I'll go ahead and link it up top, or I'll link it down below. There will be other videos that I can link there too regarding this car and how I built it, or how my brother and I built it. Actually, I shouldn't take all the credit. My brother did a lot of the work on this car, and I couldn't have this reliability without his help. The key to actually buying a used 80s BMW and keeping it as a daily driver is a lot of maintenance, and maintenance equals reliability. But excessive maintenance is a problem. I definitely agree and understand that. But as far as reliability goes, it hasn't left me. That's it. It hasn't left me stranded. So, brings me on to the next point. Honestly, it is maintenance and the ease of maintenance. This car has been really easy to maintain because I, for one, am super familiar with the M20 platform. I've owned a couple E30s. This one having the M20 V27, it's basically very similar, if not functionality-wise, works exactly the same as the V25. There are differences. I'm not saying that they're the same. I'm saying that they're really, really similar, but they operate the same. So I've gotten really familiar with the maintenance part of it. And as soon as I bought this car, I started looking at everything that I needed to change that will allow me to drive this very, like I mentioned before, reliably, and without feeling like the valves are going to meet the pistons anytime soon. So, ease of maintenance. It took me about a day to get to the timing belt, water pump. I did the stud conversion on the water pump. That's another thing we did. I think it's in the same video I just already mentioned. And all that with the gaskets, front, rear main seal. We did the clutch, but I guess, that is a maintenance interval item, but it's like, you can't be burning through clutches every couple thousand miles. So I'm not gonna include that. So it took me about a day to do all that stuff, minus the clutch, to have this thing reliable enough to know that the water pump's not gonna fail and that the timing belt's not gonna snap. So above all, those are the two things that you should worry about if you're gonna own an M20 platform car. And that's, I believe, an E28 and an E30, unless you swapped your M20 into anything else, which it can literally fit into any of these 80s chassis beautifully. And I think it's a great engine. People make great power, turboing it. Not naturally aspirated builds make great power too. All in all, it is a great platform, and the ease of maintenance on the engine it's cake, honestly. And it's also even better cake that the E28 engine compartment, the engine bay, it is huge. It is so big. You can take care of basically everything right in the car without a problem. And if you're new to working on cars, and if you're new to doing anything with BMWs in general, then don't be scared. Buy yourself an E28. You'll have plenty of room to reach anything and everything from the engine bay, at least 99% of the time. Honestly, it's great for that reason alone. Ease of maintenance is very easy. So point number 4 is styling. Styling. This car looks amazing, and let us not shy away from the fact that in the United States it was equipped with diving board bumpers, and I don't know a single person that loves these things. The diving board bumpers are just hideous, honestly. They're the worst looking bumpers I've ever seen. The Department of Transportation really did BMW dirty with those things. So it is what it is. They most of them all will have the diving bumpers, but other than that, the styling of this car is amazing. It looks great. It looks timeless. And honestly, I can't ever see myself getting rid of this car because of the way it looks. Like, even if it broke down one day and it's catastrophic failure and it's gonna cost me an arm and a leg for me to fix it, I would still keep it because it looks great. And I do plan on painting it, repainting it, and it's gonna look even better. And it's gonna make it even harder for me to ever even think about getting rid of it. So the styling and the aftermarket support for the styling, like there's classic Euro parts online. I think they're based out of the UK or Europe somewhere. Forgive me, guys. They offer aftermarket OEM looking kits, OEM styled kits, that for the E28 chassis to convert it to like M5 bumpers. And that's actually my plan, is to convert it over to M5 bumpers and give it a more Euro look to make it look that much cleaner. Even then, with the diving board bumpers, I'm okay with it for now. It looks okay to me now. I can comfortably drive this and not hate myself for having these hideous things on the front and the back of the vehicle, just ruining the lines of the car. But I still look back whenever I park it and say, wow, I love that car. So as long as you have that feeling, then I think you made the right choice. My 5th and last point that I think makes up everyone's choice, or at least should be considered as one of the choices for everyone looking to buy an 80s era BMW, especially an E28. That's the aftermarket. What do I mean by the aftermarket? I mean that are there companies out there still making parts for this car? The answer is yes. There's a ton of companies making parts for this car. While it may not be as huge as, say, like Mustang parts, like our buddy John Smith Racing, he works with Mustangs. He lives and breathes Mustangs. He is us, but for Mustangs. And his aftermarket support on all his cars are phenomenal. He can buy parts anywhere, anytime, for any chassis, and not have to worry if they're gonna discontinue a part, and then we're gonna have to rig something up to make window seals. You know, I've seen guys online that have so much trouble finding NLA parts because BMW no longer makes it, and or there's no aftermarket support for it, which is a shame because there's so many chassis left in the world that need love and that have been neglected over the years. Because, I mean, let's face it, BMW has had a bad rep for being unreliable and expensive to maintain. While that may be true in a lot of aspects, us enthusiasts, I think we throw enough money at anything as long as we love it to keep it alive. So the aftermarket support is present for this car, especially if you have an M20, B25, or B27 variant. They did not make the B25 variant for this car. They went with the M30. I think it was a B33. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's the 3-liter range, and those are awesome. I've seen a few people with these M30 variants. My buddy Tata, he has one of the most gorgeous Bahama beige E28s I've ever seen in my life. And if you're watching this, dude, I love your car. I think I've told you a million times. I'll never stop telling you. That really makes up every reason why you should buy one. And I really hope that you're considering buying an E28 because they are amazing. Aftermarket's there. Reliability's there. Just take care of your car. Don't just buy it off somebody that's had it sitting for 10 years and think it's okay to drive daily for months until the belt snaps. Don't do that. Styling's there. If you don't like the styling, then I'm sure there's another 80s BMW that suits your needs. I'm sure there's a ton of chassis to choose from, so take your pick. Get them while they're cheap, that's for sure. The E30 platform has just exploded, so I'm sure there's a lot of people looking in other avenues to get into the enthusiast world for BMWs. With that being said, guys, I hope this helped your guys' decision in buying an E28. If not, then finding some other chassis from the 80s that has the same engine. But all in all, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. As always, thank you very much for supporting us. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys.